Alright guys, here we are again. This is going to be a quick episode, but I wanted to show you it's October 1st here in Kansas. And our soybeans right here, as you can see, are doing great. They're, I don't know, waist high. This is the first year I've planted in this spot. Full of pods. They're putting on beans as we speak. But as you can tell, no yellow leaves at all whatsoever. They are completely still growing and still producing pods. Oh, hi bud. Over here, these were planted the same day. This is your generic farmer's beans. I don't know which beans they are, but you know, farmers planting these to come in and harvest them in a couple weeks. And as you can see over the whole field, they're dead. I mean, there is a couple leaves left, but they're all yellow and they'll probably all be gone within the next day or two. Deer have completely stopped touching these whatsoever. Hey, don't be ripping up the beans. Anyway, guys, I want to show you guys a comparison about the difference between a crop bean and a forage bean. You know, crop beans are designed to go for a certain amount of days, and they all are uniform, and they all look the same, and they all die off at whatever. And so they can all be harvested and blah, 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 which is great for money and, you know, human consumption. But the advantages of forage beans is these beans will literally grow until we get like a hard frost, basically. There's no sign of them. I mean, if you really look hard, you might see a leaf that's a little yellow, but really not even. These beans are still completely, fully healthy, completely, fully, you know, bulking up. They have all their pods now, and there's beans starting in the pods. They're not completely fully developed yet. They'll still get a little bit bigger, but they are in there. We did go through and drill the Eagle Seed Buffalo blend right through these beans. That's why if you look down this thing, you see some of them are crushed and died, obviously, and it's not as thick. But if you look closely enough, we'll get you close-ups. There is plenty of new growth forage coming up underneath. And yeah, and in the next couple weeks, these beans will probably stay like this till last week of October, middle to end of October, which is a huge advantage because deer love soybeans, and especially when your farmer's beans start to die off, if they want, you know, if they still want the green leaves of a soybean, which they love so much, they can still find them in your Eagle Seed food plots. Not sponsored yet. If you're watching this, Eagle Seed, hit us up because these are expensive, but they're worth it. So I just went over and grabbed one. So this is a bean that, you know, was standing vertically, obviously. And when I came over with the tractor, I crushed it and broke it down like that. But there's these forage beans are so awesome. As you can see, all these verticals are all stuff that grew after they got smushed. And like this one, for example, it started growing when it was on the ground, and even those ones are putting on pods. Obviously not as many, but it's just crazy. You cannot kill, I mean, it's so hard to kill these beans. And then of course, like I've said before, the beans you do kill just go right back into the soil anyway. So it's not much of a problem. But I just want to show you this, that even when you do crush beans, especially for the green leafy forage, because you usually do it in early August when they're really liking the leaves of the beans, plenty of them still resprout, even when killing about 30 to 40% of them. All right, so here we have a place where a lot more, like pretty much all of the beans got crushed. I think I made this pass a bunch of times when I was lining up to do the rest of it. So there's not very many. So there's a couple soybeans. For the most part, all the beans have died here. And then here's of course the green stuff coming up through. Looks great for what we've got. I mean, we've had one of the driest falls I've ever seen. So really, it's looking good for what it is. But usually it's a lot better. Another thing I want to show you guys, since we're having such a dry fall. Yeah, quiet. Since we had such a dry fall this year, moisture obviously is super key. So if you go to a spot like right here where there's no cover, it's all just, you can feel this, and we did get rain like 2 days ago now, so it's dusty, but there is a little bit of moisture, but for the most part it's all just dust. If you go here to say like where the soybeans, where I crushed a bunch of soybeans, you pull this back and you can grab the soil, you can see there's still plenty, I mean I wouldn't say plenty, but there's still a good amount of moisture left in the ground, just because obviously the sun's not getting direct contact with the soil. So I mean, having this layer throughout this whole food plot, covering up the ground, keeps moisture for an extra, at least twice as long, if not 3 times as long. Huge benefit, especially with the kind of like the drought we're having. We don't have any rain in the forecast for the next 12 days, so that will help this food plot still grow throughout those tough times. So if you guys are still watching this video, before we leave, we want to let you guys know we are leaving to go back up to Alaska next week. We'll be there for a couple weeks, be doing a bunch of duck hunting, film and stuff like that. So we're gonna try to stock up on Kansas footage to keep you guys through the entirety of our trip, but we're thinking we're gonna be a couple videos short. But that will be replaced with, hopefully do some sea duck hunting, definitely some Alaskan duck. What? So we're gonna definitely get some duck hunting footage, hopefully get some sea duck footage. We got some big plans, but we're just getting up there because it's dead this time of year. I shot my buck and there's not much we can be doing down here until duck season starts here. So that's about it, guys. Look forward to the Alaskan videos and we'll catch you on the next one.